Hello YouTube, back with another video. Nothing else to do. Y'all know once again, we're on this darn quarantine crap. And like I said, now when I finally want to get out the house, a bitch is now forced to stay in the house. Ain't this about a bitch? And it's like this darn coronavirus couldn't happen during the times when I was actually stuck in the house and I wanted to be stuck in the house. But yeah, I like getting a little bit better, but we'll work on this in the upcoming weeks since we finally got time to go ahead and make the proper investments and stuff. But yeah, where am I at now? Now we ain't about to do no another TV talk with this one. This is a random video, but we ain't about to do no TV talk, and I ain't about to go into Donald Trump. So what else I can? Oh, for starters, I noticed y'all probably noticed something different. I finally got my brows did. And no, I did not do it myself. Even though I am a licensed esthetician, I was never good at brows. So I finally went and got my brows done. So y'all tell me how y'all like my brows. And y'all can tell because the mole is peeking out. I do got a mole in my eyebrows. Well, a beauty dot because it's not raised, so I wouldn't necessarily call it a mole. As you can tell, it's a dot. But yeah, got my brows did, and they're perfect. Like they're not. She didn't thin them out too much. And pretty much I showed y'all in the last video how I wanted them. I wanted them just like this. Oh, my screen thing is too bright. I always got to turn it all the way down for y'all to see it. I wanted them similar to this, the way that my theory instructor did them in beauty school. She did pretty damn good for somebody who is a brand new esty. Like all of them are brand new that I went to. It's a brand new spot that opened up close to me, and thank goodness that. Although here's the downside, it was one that almost recognized me, and this is my flaw. It's because I do videos. And, I have such a distinctive accent. Gladly, my face is not mirrored because they said I sound similar to the person that they thought they saw on YouTube, but they couldn't quite pick. Thank goodness I got out of there. And the reason why I don't want too many people knowing is because it's awkward when, you're a fellow beautician and you're in another beautician's chair. It makes them feel nervous, especially with all of them being brand new. The owner just graduated beauty school in December. And here I am, somebody sitting in your chair who got over 5 years of experience. It's like, you don't want to darn be caught slipping with somebody who knows if you did something wrong. So it's like, that's why I always, don't mention anything. Because it's like, I don't want to emphasize the nervousness. And then I don't want, if I want to get a Brazilian wax or something like that, I don't want no chatter going, not enough to be shaming down there. But still, I don't want no darn chatter going out on that, even if it's positive about, the package. I might not be quite like darn T.S. Madison, but bitch, I ain't that far behind. So, yeah, with that being said, because it's awkward, with me still, even though I'm trans, I still got my downstairs area and stuff down there, and then it's like flaxy patsy up here, but then it's like with my whole embodiment, what I am. But it's like still everything's functional and everything. So it's like, yeah, it gets very awkward when it comes to trying to get Brazilian services, and I've been reprehensive on getting Brazilian. I never went to anybody, believe it or not. I've always used to do it myself, but I've gotten to the point where I don't, because it's like, I mean, I guess I could do it, but it's like, that's just too much flexibility because I like everything done. And it's not healthy for me to shake because once again, I'm noticing the hyperpigmentation coming back between my thighs and all that, and the ingrowns. So, and then the fastness that it comes back with shape versus with waxing, my hair actually thins out if I was to stay consistent to it. And then it's like I don't even know when the laser hair removal is going to come around because damn, a bitch is now back out of a job. As far as with my main gig now, I'm going to go ahead and get back into the aesthetics. But y'all know that's a work in progress. So, yeah. But I still want to pamper myself too, in the meantime, in between time. So, look like I'll be able to do this at this location since this is the first spot that don't recognize me. Because everywhere else, in the North Carolina area, it's at least 1 or 2 people that recognize me. Like Hand and Stone, I know several people at the Hand and Stone. The Venetian, no. Bare Bottom Waxing, no. The couple darn on wax places out on I'm at near Fort Bragg. They know me there too. On the Post, know me there. Go out to Wilmington. Some of the girls are familiar with me there. So I'm pretty well known, believe it or not. For me to be just a little old esthetician, I ain't quite made it yet. So it makes it hard to sneak in and get a service unnoticed. I'm like Love and Hip Hop famous in the Eastern beauty industry, where it's like people recognize me, but bitch, I ain't got the darn money to back up. Like I ain't Beyonce famous. Hell, I ain't even darn soap opera. At least the veteran soap operas get a stable. Them Love and Hip Hop people, sometimes they only be getting what, like $2,000 per darn cameo. Like I'm that type of famous. Like that, you know me. Well, bitch, we probably darn in the same tax bracket. That's where I'm at. So glad I'm found a good spot to get my services done unnoticed. And then from there we'll go into, once I get my own stuff up and running, the goal is to go into step 2. Because this sounds so awkward finally having this conversation. I feel weird having this conversation because it's like nobody asked me, and it's like, do y'all really? But I'm gonna make it anyway because I'm sure there's some trans women out there that probably still want to know. Not that I don't even think I have any trans subscribers, but just in case, I just make a video just for the sake of it, because I know some people might be curious. Where am I going to go with the transition? Because I never really talked about it. It just became known. It was always known to a certain extent. Just became more apparent. So where I'm at is next year we're finally going to go into the hormones. I have yet to do hormones to this day. Money does have a factor. Insurance is a second thing. North Carolina, Bible Belt state, you have to go with all the canceling stuff. And it's like, I ain't been wanting to do that, because that'll bring up a lot of past other experiences. Y'all know I've done the dodge death more times than I can. It's like when you go to the therapist, it goes into one thing, and then it turns into bringing up your whole life story. And y'all been with me since 2000. So some of y'all that's been with me through 2012 or seen my past videos, y'all know a girl done been through everything. Samurai sword pulled out on me. Nearly done got ran over by a car multiple motherfucking times. By multiple motherfucking family members. Shot at. What else? Cousin on the darn gonna try to snap on me too. I mean, it's been quite a few things. And the same bitch tried to fight me at the McDonald's on Halloween. She's good now, but we wasn't good back then. What else happened? Oh, and then the mess with beauty school. Then, it's a long tumultuous stuff. Y'all just got to go back to the videos to see all that. But it's like I got to go through all that with the therapy section. All just to get my tatas done. It's like, damn. Can't a girl get a tatas in peace? I'm tired of being like Lupita Nyong'o. Shit. I'm tired of being flatsy patsy, bitch. I want me a good set of double D. And I want to see if I qualify, because it's like, but then again, I know that's going to be a long, because it's like, with the way my anatomy is set up, I probably have to wait until I'm 29. And that's only if I get the ball rolling and start the treatments early next year, because once again, I got to be able to grow some tissue for, for the implants to hold on to, where it's not super, because I don't want granted, yeah, it's going to be implants. However, I don't want them to be too noticeable. Like, them implants where it's just right there, and it's like, it might be inedible for me. Y'all know what I'm trying to convey. But it might be inedible for me because of, the way my body anatomy is set up. But once again, I might be able to grow a sufficient amount of breast tissue. Hopefully at least a 30. Hopefully on my own, I'll be able to grow at least a 32C to put in the implants. And they don't necessarily go by cup size. They go by like the 100 counts of saline. And I plan on getting saline, not silicone. Because y'all know with my Crohn's disease, I ain't trying to trick, because I seen what's been going on with Wendy Williams and Tony Braxton and all them motherfuckers who got the darn on silicone implants. So it's like, oh no, they talk about the silicone exacerbates autoimmune conditions. So that's another thing I got to worry about. So I'm going to go with the saline instead. Also, just in case a freak accident happened, like if a bitch gets shot or stabbed or something like that, the saline absorbs into your body versus, silicone. You might end up getting silicone poisoning. So I always think about that. Like, what if what if I get in a fight or something and the breast tissue rupture, or I get shot or something like that? What would be the most safest route to go? And I think saline would be the best. Now, they say saline is a little bit more noticeable, though. And then it's like, it doesn't help with my... But then again, they say they done came out with more technology, though, to make the saline less noticeable. But before I can even do that, I have to get the laser hair removal first. Because I get enough on my darn own areola area where I don't want to be dealing with that versus on horse, because it's like, I don't want to do the hormones before laser hair removal, because then it's like I'm growing tissue, and that's going to be more of a sensitive area as it's growing in, and then you have to do the laser on top of it, and then it's like I got very dark, area, so it's like almost to the point where the laser might mistake. So I don't know if I might just continue waxing that area instead, and hopefully it just reduces down to a vellus state. For y'all that don't know what that means, over time, if you perpetually wax your hair enough, it might be able to shrink the hair down to the hair that you was when you was a baby. Similar to the hair that most women have on their face, the little light invisible hairs. That's what you call a vellus. So hopefully I might be able to do that enough with waxing, especially since when I was consistently waxing, my hair would, take longer and longer to grow back, and it was growing thin, but, life happens, and I always fell off, and shit came back thick. Now, granted that naturally, genetically, I don't have as much body hair, especially on my chest. The way my hair grows in is like a little, very light, tougher hair up here. Then it grows down on the line, and then spreads out through my stomach. I don't have hair all over. My back is completely empty except for this soul patch on my lower latissimus dorsis area. Like, that's the only little area that my hair grows in. It's literally about the size of my... And it's weird to ask people to wax it, because it's like, what's the charge for that area? Because it's like, I know you ain't about to charge me the full price for a back wax, and I only got hair in a particular area that is literally about the size of one underarm hair. Like, come on now. So that's why I just be flexible enough to wax my own self for the most part. But a girl likes to be treated. And when I get my corns up, I'm definitely getting rid of that as well. That's the only hair on my back. I'm damn sure ain't about to chance with motherfucker. No, hell no. Y'all ain't about to fry me down there. I don't know. Maybe after, I get the... after I go to the bank and store the specimen, we might, think about down there. I don't know. But damn sure ain't beforehand. I'm more likely going to end up starting laser hair removal treatments before we start thinking about storing specimen for children, because I do want to have children. Later on in life, I thought I would, it'd be 30s, honey, 27. I still ain't done half of what I want to do. Honey, I done extended 10 years. But, as time gets older, it's like, I'm starting to be in the decline phase. We definitely need to, by next year, if it's not this year, next year, I would definitely be going to the bank to go through the process of storing specimen. So by the time I even get on the matter of fact, it will be by early next year, because once you're on hormones, all of that down there is disrupted, and I would become infertile if I don't do that before. So that's the plan on that as far as storing. And then of course, once you store it, I think they allow you to store up to 10 cups, and then it's going to be about $4,000 in costs, including the initial consultation and all that. Also, in that, they analyze the first sample, then you come back and you make the initial deposit, and then you can store up to 10 for like $3,000, and then they can hold it for 10 years. So that's where I'm at with that. Actually, I think it's a little bit longer, but they're most viable in 10 within use of 10 years. So that's where I'm going to do. Next year, I will be taking y'all to the bank, but not depositing money. We'll be depositing, the wani juice, honey. That's what we're going to call it, honey. The wani juice. I'm trying to keep it as PG as possible. I don't know why. None of my children are going to associate with kids, but I know some of y'all got children that hell they out for darn on spring break, and definitely, honey, we don't know when anybody's going back to school. They done sent all the darn on college students home, so I'm out of my first job. Y'all with darn on K through 12 kids, most of y'all children are out until what, April the 10th. So yeah, that's why I'm trying to be as PG as possible, just in case some of your children hear me in the background. We speak it in code. So yeah, that's where I'm at with the transitioning process. My face, like I said in the past, I don't want anything. I'm very much naturalistic. Only thing that's gonna be fake is my tatas. And that's only because I know damn well I'm not going to be able to get my dream cup size on my own, because anatomically, I lean more towards being pear-shaped. I'm tall as fuck, and y'all rarely see me nude, so that's why it's hard to believe. But I lean more towards gaining more in my hip. Although I wish I had Beyonce hip. Don't everybody though? Like, I wish I had that hip, the waist proportion. I'm more closer to Kelly Rowland than Beyonce. But yeah, I'm more on the thighs, backside, and some hips. I wish I had more hips than I had. Would I get hip implants? No, though. I ain't doing it with the hip implants. It's just I get what I think I would get enough once the hormones start. Once I'm like 6-7 months in on the hormones, I'll probably finally get some darn on decent hips. My measurements right now is I am a 29 waist, 40 hips. And my breasts, my dream cup size is a 34 double D. So factoring in that I'm 6'1", and that my hips at the largest have been a 44, and I probably would get up to like a 46 naturally on hormones. So because I will still be exercising and stuff, because I don't want to be too out there, because it's like then it would be even though ironically technically I don't have any injections and stuff, but still I don't want to be too way out there in the shape department. It's like I would prefer to stay within 44, 46 hips, and with the hormones I probably get up to a 46 hips. So I think I just do well with a modest 34 or 36 double D. I let the doctor decide which one will be the best suited. And I think the doctor will agree with, because that would be more well balanced. Because once again, I'm very tall, 6'1", so I don't have to worry about the breasts being too big on, you know, my stature. Also, since my hips will more likely be spread out to that degree, naturally, it will be more well proportioned. Not necessarily hourglass, because once again, I ain't trying to have, you know, with my, you know, body structure, I can't support, what would I have to have, a 40 triple D to be able to match 46-inch hips? And no, I definitely know I won't have enough skin tissue to support that. Like, a bitch would be out here looking like Wendy Williams, done got a booty implant. Hell, fuck no, bitch. I ain't trying, like I said, we trying to just keep it simple. So yeah, I end up just having a nice set of 36 at the maximum, but I'll lean probably towards a 34. So nice, average cup size. So that's all within by the end of 2021. Or is it going to be 2020? Because, like, here's the other dilemma. I don't know if I want to go back to beauty school or not. Probably not. Probably not. If I don't go back to beauty school in 2021, yeah, I don't think I want to deal with that stress right now. I don't know. Because it's like, do I really want to go and finally do hair after all these years? Or do I just want to home in on my craft of skincare? I'll probably just go ahead and just further home in on my craft of skincare instead, and finally give the hair passion on up. Even though I'm in the midst of finally growing my hair back, I don't think I want to deal with also adding hair to our repertoire. I think it's safe to go ahead and give that dream on up. So yeah, we going to go. And besides, I've been putting this off far too long. Far too long. Because I don't want to wake up in its 40s and 50s and it's like, well, damn. Bitch, you said you wasn't going to be like Caitlyn Jenner, and then here your ass 50 years old still ain't did nothing yet. So that's why I'm finally going through with. And if y'all don't see me start, y'all better remind me of this damn video. Be like, now, a DivaWuan. You remember when you said this last year in March? What's the status update? So yeah, if this time next year, if we ain't made it down to the bank to deposit some darn Wani juice, honey, y'all better darn get on my ass, honey, and be like, now, Diva, your ass supposed to be going to the bank, honey. And I ain't talking about darn Wells Fargo's, One United, BB&T. You know what bank you supposed to be going to make a deposit, bitch. So yeah, I'm making this video for self-accountable because I'm going to look back at this video as well. So just if I think about darn backing out, I'm going to look right back at this video, and this is going to be my motivating factor. But laser hair removal is definitely a must. Like, oh, I'm so sick and tired of this darn hair getting on my nerve, especially here, because I keep dealing with the barber folliculitis, which is inflammation of the follicles, subsequent to, you know, irritating it with shaving and all of that. And then of course, being a Fitzpatrick 5, pretty much since I'm dark skinned, I have a tendency to hyperpigment it, but that does not look good in my industry. So I'm perpetually having to use tyrosine inhibitors such as you know, mandelic acid to always counteract this darkness down here, and I'm tired of it. I'd rather finally be rid of this. So laser, tatas. I'm still nervous as hell about the full downstairs. We're gonna have to do a rain check on that as far as the full downstairs. We taking this one step at a time. What brought me to this? I've always knew. I know that's gonna be the next question. I pretty much have known of myself basically since I was 12, as far as on the trans spectrum, like fully, you know, coming into womanhood. femininity has been forever, honey. You know, 4, 5, 6 years old, it's always been there. But fully knowing as far as and then fully embracing it is really just been within the past 2 years, really 2018ish. Although I took in baby steps in late 2016, early 2017, but fully, undeniably embraced it 2018. So yeah, that's how long I've been knowing. Those are steps I plan on doing afterwards. I know this is a very random video. Like I said, this is just a self-accountability video, so I don't blame you if you don't, look at this all the way through. This is just for me to look back, for accountability purposes. But I don't mind anybody asking any questions. I'm a complete open book. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with that. Oh, yeah, this got to go as well. But once again, I can't have this gone because it's a series of steps before you have everything else. Like I said, before I can even think about the breast, I got to have the a series of waxing done first, or the laser hair removal around the nipples. And then before I can even cut this down, I have to have this completely gone. Because once again, when they cut, I don't want them cutting right here. I want them to actually go up here and then go down and cut this. And that way, when I look at you head on, if this does leave a temporary scar, you won't be able to see it head on. Versus if I do this, y'all can see it. Versus y'all can't necessarily see right here. Especially if you're looking at me in real life. So I need to go to a plastic surgeon that is skilled with cutting upwards. And also, when they go in, I'm making sure they also don't damage the vocal cords and all of that. I ain't trying to have my voice altered and more raspy and all of that of what it is. It's like I already don't have the most aesthetically sounding voice as it is. Damn sure don't need me sounding like I smoke 20 packs of cigarettes a day. So yeah, I have to vet plastic surgeons. Far as anything else on my face, no. I'm blessed to have, and to my wide nose people, there ain't nothing wrong with having a wide nose. So let me just say that. But as far as me, I have a thin nose naturally. So why would I want to, thin it out even more? So obviously I wouldn't have my nose done. Being black and melanated, I don't need any Botox. I'm also blessed with natural cheekbones. Honey, this is a combination of the Cameroonian and Cherokee in my lineage, so I don't need any help in the cheekbones. So I won't have to do like Jada Pinkett Smith and Vivica Fox and, be putting in cheekbone implants. So I'm blessed to have them naturally like Miss Cynthia Bailey, bitch. Lips nice and full enough, no lip implants. Like I said, no hip implants, no ass implants. The only thing I'm getting as far as foreign substance is the tatas. I know recovery is going to be a bitch though, because it's like autoimmune. And then it's like having a conversation about Macron, because a lot of plastic surgeons are a little bit iffy messing with people who have autoimmune diseases prior to having surgery. Like usually people develop their autoimmune diseases after, like Wendy Williams had contracted Graves' disease after. Tamar Braxton came down with no, she said she always had vertigo though. Now has Tamar had anything? Who I'm thinking that had theirs? I want to say Toni got her breast done, and then she found out later she had lupus. Who else had something done? Like, it's a lot of people who end up getting their stuff. K. Michelle, another example, where she was getting symptoms similar to lupus. Turns out it was complications from her implants. I ain't trying to be that person. That's why, number one, I'm going the saline route. I ain't going down to that doctor that she went to, the one that's the author of the backside of the story that was on the why can't I think of her name? And she was on the Breakfast Club. She basically all but said that she did K Michelle surgery in the basement, honey. But if y'all know the woman's name, I can't think of it right now. But I ain't trying to do that. No, I ain't trying to be on no Cardi B type shit either. We get my shit professionally done with some saline. That's it. So that's the only thing. But like I said, recovery is going to be a bitch because of the fact that they're going in through the underarms. And underarms is like twice the recovery time. But and then that's another thing why I need laser hair removal first is because once again, I ain't trying to have the hair interfere. You know, they cut me open and then seal me back, and then it's like increasing the chance of, you know, folliculitis in the underarm. No. So it's like, let the hair be gone right here and here before we start cutting. So all this will be gone before this trachea gets cut down. Then, you know, all the underarm hair will be gone so they can go in and make a smooth incision and go in and then fill up the saline. That's another thing with saline. Unlike silicone, they can put the pack in and then fill it up as it goes, and then they can get a more of a real look versus with silicone is pre-filled. You just deal with the cup size they give you, versus saline they can inject it as they go in and fill it up to your liking. And since I'm going through the underarms, it leaves no visible scars. So if I wanted to be completely topless for whatever reason, you know, it won't be no scar detection. So that'll be a way for it to look as realistic as possible with no scars. So yeah, that is my long-term transition plan, just in case anybody was curious. So that is it in a nutshell. I know, completely random, but I didn't have anything else to talk about today. I really just wanted to show off these darn on brows. I said, bitch. I had to come on here with a video just to showcase these brows. So this the really basically the only reason why y'all getting this very personal story. Because like I said, this is something that I would have normally just kept to myself for the most part. But I know some people are curious about, you know, the life of transitioning, and I hope this was very insightful for people who was curious. Oh, just another random thing. No, I was not molested. I know this is so out of left field, but I know some people always think of, you know, molestation. Nope, was not molested as a child. My mother's actually masculine, never wore makeup a day in my born life. Like, she wore makeup when she was like 19, 20. The closest she comes to makeup is she does her brows. That's it. Like, she does it with the marker, but she don't do no lip gloss. She never wears foundation. Like, she don't do nothing. Now, I mean, hell, it wasn't until lately that she finally started wearing darn on, you know, skin tight, you know, shorts, or, you know, leggings or whatever. I mean, she'll have a dress every now and again, but for the most part, she very baggy pants, shirt, like very tomboy. So, honey, definitely did not get my inspiration from her, because I know some people say, oh, single parents, you got it from her. No. Now, although, you know, I was raised mostly by my grandma, and my grandmother and great grandmother were very feminine though. So could be possibly that. But yeah, for the most part, definitely wasn't for my mother at all. So there's your two questions there for my conservative people. Because once again, I know when we talk about this, people always like to come up with a stereotype of, you know, all gay and trans people were molested, and this what drove them to do this, that, and the third. No. And then as far as TV inspiration and brain control, honey, I'm a 90s babe. It wasn't nobody on TV that looked like me back in the day. RuPaul didn't even represent me, honey, because drag queen is a caricature. Drag queen is a profession, not the gender identity. RuPaul in real life is very masculine. I mean, well, you know, masculine as in not womanly. And like RuPaul is very much, you know, a metrosexual man's man. Like, he wears the suits, clear bald head, you know, he's a metrosexual male. He does not represent, you know, full femininity, if that makes sense. Now, RuPaul, the drag queen, honey, is full femininity. But once again, that is the profession and not the gender identity. So that's the difference between drag queen and transgender. And then, of course, y'all know, got to have the fans on. It's 80-some degrees in North Carolina. We got summertime weather, and it's only been, what, 2 days in the spring? But, yeah, no representation on TV. So, before y'all start with that darn on, oh, it was something on TV, honey. Wasn't nobody that represented me on TV. Nobody on the damn soaps. The closest thing we had was the intersex character on darn on Passions, and darn on Vincent character didn't come in until what, 2005, 2006, and I was already into knowing about myself by then. And then what else? Days of Our Lives, General Hospital. Well, General Hospital just had a transgender person on it, but hell, that was just within the last 2 years. So, like I said, definitely wasn't no we didn't have no Pose. We didn't have no Empire. We didn't have none of this growing up. So, definitely no TV inspiration to look at. So, yeah, for anybody who's thinking, well, who was my influence growing up that was in the community? Really, I didn't have any. Because there wasn't any. We've came a long way as far as TV representation. And this is why we fight so hard to be seen on TV. And the irony that black people will be the main ones talking about, oh, well, why y'all got to be on my... And it's like, honey, don't y'all ever think that's what white people said when when we started being on soap operas and shit. Oh, why don't you go get your own? Why y'all niggas got to want to be with us and all this, that, and the third? And then when you get your own, it still has some shit to say. Same thing. See, I can see it from both sides. Because then it's like, same thing with trans gay people. Oh, well, why you got to be on our shit? Like, why we got to include you, this, that, and the third? Why don't you just go invent your own characters and your own, you know? And once again, that's what we went and did. And some shit said about that, too. But that's a whole nother video for a whole nother day. This video ultimately was to give y'all a little bit background on what drove me to my transitioning process and my timeline for me to hold myself accountable, and for y'all to also reinforce that in the next upcoming year. Like I said, by this time next year, at the minimum, we should have started several rounds of laser hair removal. We should have had at least 2 sessions by then, and have started, you know, seeking out psychiatrists or whatever. Because once again, before you even get the scripts and stuff for the hormones, you got to go through the psychiatrist. You got to do a number of sessions. That's why I put it out so long for a year, because it's like you got to have several sessions with the psychiatrist before you even, you know, start the hormone process. So this is my video holding myself accountable, and I will check back with y'all soon. So that's it, y'all. Feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will be back with y'all with normal scheduled videos and vlogs within DivaWuan. So that's it. Mwah.